Hello and welcome to another episode of the LCS Report. I am still so happy to be calling it LCS Report for the fans, by the fans. Today we got a good episode. We have a lot of news, a lot of stuff is going on, a lot of games going to cover, so we'll get right into it. Um, but before that, obviously you see we have a new overlay. I think the more time we do this, the cooler stuff that Marn comes up with. So shout out to him. We got a pretty cool overlay. We also have pick'ems. We'll talk more about that, but yes, we have our pick'ems, so we're hoping that more people join. And there will be prizes we will talk about later in the episodes when we actually do our pick'ems live. So let's get right into Sentinels joining. If you haven't seen, Cheap Esports has reported that Sentinels is joining the LCS, replacing 100 Thieves. Now, before we talk about Sentinels, there's something very important to note. Sentinels are not buying a slot. Sentinels are joining the league without buying. They're signing a multi-year contract. At least this is what it seems like, what the rumors are saying. Sentinels are signing a multi-year contract to be in the LCS without buying an LCS slot. Now, that does a couple things. One, if I'm other LCS teams, I'm like, wait a minute, I had to pay like $100 million, well, $10 million to be here, and then you're letting other teams be here for free? Like, that's not cool. But then there's also the fact that all payments have been frozen, so Riot isn't actually taking the payments from the teams, so maybe they're okay. That's just something to note that technically Sentinels doesn't have that much power compared to what an original franchise owner had. So that's one thing to note. But just jumping right in, I don't watch too much of Valorant, but I know about Sentinels. I see them on my feed all the time. I know about tens. Like I'm aware of them despite not following the game because they're really, really big. So, as someone who does follow Valorant, what can we expect from Sentinels? Like, what are your expectations? How have they done in Valorant, and what do you expect to see in League?
They're everything in terms of fan engagement that you want in the league. They have the biggest co-streamers in tens in Tarek. They have an owner that is dedicated to winning. And while in the past there's been reports about them potentially going under with financial difficulties, at least at the moment they're putting their best foot forward in like a couple of places. I know their Halo team is pretty star-studded. Last time I checked, the Valorant team one of the best around like since the franchising era began, and they have a Marvel Rivals team, which like they're one of the first to actually really go hard in that game. They have quite the rivalry of 100 Thieves, who is ironically the team that they're replacing in the in the LCS.
Oh,
So
that's perfect.
like I am always skeptical because I know they initially spoke about wanting to come in under tier 2. Obviously, I think at the time that it wasn't like known whether they were going to get that LCS slot, so perhaps they were just playing it safe, like in the event that they don't get the main slot. But I I think this is one of the best choices out there.
I will say something that you said, like they are dedicated to winning, and they almost went under, kind of go in opposite directions because we've seen Team Liquid try to spend millions of dollars and fail and succeed sometimes, right? Like Paid by Steve is a meme because it worked, not because it failed, right? But then there's like the FlyQuest roster where they spent a bajillion dollars and still failed, right? There's a Team Liquid Super roster where they got Bjergsen and Core JJ and Whippo and Santor. Like they had a really strong team in Hansama, right? Like people forget Hansama played in North America for a year before he went to G2 and won everything, right? So um a lot of times winning costs money if you're not willing to develop, and it doesn't sound from what you said like Sentinels are the type of team to develop. They're the type of team to like buy big and get like a star-studded roster. And in League of Legends, at least, that doesn't work too often.
They have a mixture of both. They are preparing for the future in Valorant. They have this app I can't remember his name, but they have this absolutely cracked kid waiting in the wings. Like he played in their tier 2 team. Um, I think he played a couple of games for their tier 1, like kind of like what Gakkos is doing at the moment. Like he played the odd game here and there, but he's for the development roster and like he's going to be probably starting next year. They are they care when I say care like dedicated to winning. They aren't going to rest on their laurels if they don't win. They're not going to like sit around recycle. They're going to go hard to win a championship because that's what they care about is winning. And I expect they're going to be able to have I don't know. Like, we don't know really like their full financial power. But what I can tell you is they are going to put everything into marketing themselves. So even if they can't offer the most lucrative contracts to players, they're definitely going to be giving you the social numbers. And while obviously, like, for the Skies, it hasn't worked out too much in terms of like they did bring that when they first came in, they had that like big presence socially, but like they couldn't attract the players that you would think. So obviously it's very financially difficult to run a tier 1 team. But I suspect if they're coming into the scene, firstly without paying, which I think other teams need to be looking at that and saying, right, what the hell? Like, where's my piece of this pie? Um, but I do think they're gonna attract some names, and it's gonna be interesting to see how the offseason comes out with a lot of star players not under contract at the end of Worlds.
Yeah, the other thing I will say, this is like another step in the things that we wanted from from Riot Games North America. We wanted the LCS back. They gave us the LCS back. We wanted more world seeds. They gave us more world seeds. Honestly, they gave us MSI. I wasn't even asking for MSI. And we wanted better teams in, and we got Sentinels. And I'm very happy with, like I said, I don't watch too much Valorant, but the fact that I already know about Sentinels is a really good thing, because it means that they're good at marketing, and I think that's a huge W. Later on, we're gonna have a little short that I want to play live on stream and talk about it, because it's something that Riot Games understands, but for some reason it's not done in North American League of Legends by the teams, by the players, and stuff like that. So I think having a team that is focused on like marketing and the numbers is very important to them is very important in North America because our numbers suck. So yeah, we'll get to that. Other than that, I mean, it's really hard to talk about like any rosters or anything, just because like we're obviously roster mania is happening right now as the teams are at Worlds, but we don't really hear much about that until later on, until like the decisions by the key players like Inspired and Quid. Like once those dominoes fall, everything else will fall into place. But for now, yeah, I'm happy with the selection. It's I'm glad it wasn't like another Immortals or something. And I think North America is looking brighter and brighter by the day.
I actually have I think it was one of the questions we had. I kind of want to like, because we had like quite a few this week. I want to kind of like embed them into our thing, and it's actually from Stones, who says, in regards to Sentinels and knowing how they run their Val team, do you think Rob Moore is going to throw a bunch of money at a roster and get a big start in the LCS?
I don't know too much about Rob Moore, so I can't really answer that question. I can say what I want, but I can't necessarily say what I like expectations for them. You might know a little bit more. So what do you think?
I think they're gonna have a good roster to start with. I don't think they're going to go like the Shopify route of like easing your way into it. I think they're going to. I think it's going to be a mixture between like what you have the Shopify and the first FlyQuest like roster under their new era. Um, yeah, like it honestly depends how Zakari just made a good point in chat. Like they're looking to go big again in Val this year, so um, and the thing is with LCS contracts, they're nowhere near the level of what you're going to be paying in Valorant. So I don't think it's not like people are going to spend, but it's not going to be like super insane. Maybe to prize like the one thing I don't think they're going to be able to do is attract like Inspired or Busio, who is out of contract. Like they have they have all the power in this, because there is going to be like a LEC teams flaunting around. FlyQuest are going to want to look to retain, so they're going to have to resign and get a pay rise, because they're not going to return and then have less money or the same money. That's just not how negotiations work. So Sentinels are going to have to not only match but beat like whatever FlyQuest and or like if we say G2, then you're gonna have to beat those guys.
I mean, we can talk about this right now, just because about like roster like changes and things like that. Since we don't have much to talk about Sentinels, like what they could do. I kind of agree with you. I don't think they can pull an Inspired or a Busio. I think if they stay in North America, it's gonna be on FlyQuest. I would be very surprised if any other team can outbid FlyQuest in North America. Not just outbid, but give them a better offer. Like a lot. Like I'm a Shopify fan, and I think Shopify is an amazing organization just from from knowing them in other games and what they do, and like even having Ludwig on and stuff like that. Like we are trying, but it I think FlyQuest have created such an environment that they're able to thrive. Like specifically Inspired, they're making him very, very, very at home. Um, for him to like stay, right? But then again, like if someone offers him like double the salary, like does he really stay on FlyQuest? I think EU is probably the biggest like person that can negotiate. I will also say there was everybody's already made fun of this, but I just have to point it out because we talked about this on stream. There was a question, I think it was by Stoens, if I'm not mistaken, or Rachel. I actually don't remember who asked this, but someone asked, what do you think of what Sheep Esports like? They kind or at least Wulu, the owner of Sheep Esports, put out a tweet saying these are the things that we're gonna do, these are the things we're not gonna do, and then the question was, do you think it's good for the scene? And I didn't really know what to think, and I still don't know what to think. But it's kind of awkward that the first tweet about a rumor that they point out is, hey, guess what? Chances are teams are gonna want Inspired. Like that's not a rumor. That's not speculation even. That's just like if you live in the world, that's like saying, hey, guess what? It's gonna rain somewhere today. It's like, yes, that's just fact. And a lot of people made it fun. It was like the sky is blue or like water is wet. It's like, yes, we know that. So I don't really consider that a rumor. I just think if anyone's doing their due diligence and these like players like Quid and Inspired are free agents, but at the end of the year, you talk to them. That's just normal, right? Even if you can't afford them, like Steve was sending paychecks to like blank paychecks, basically offering money to Faker every single year, despite Faker like resigning, right? So I think that like I wouldn't be surprised if Steve tried to get Inspired. Does that mean that do I really think he's gonna get Inspired? Probably not, especially with the environment of Team Liquid. Like I highly doubt it. Breaking news, fork pounding kitchen. I love that. If it rains, it showers. Well, yes. So yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. I would actually wait a little bit and see what happens during the World Championship, because I think if G2 have a really good World Championship, do they really want Inspired? Maybe, maybe not. If they have an abysmal, like maybe that motivates them a little bit more to get Inspired, right? Same thing for Fnatic. Like if Fnatic make it to semis of Worlds, all of a sudden maybe they don't want to replace Razak for Inspired, right? Like I think it's a little too early to speculate, especially if Inspired has a stinker. Like if Inspired runs it down, like he hasn't, but if he runs it down, that's what I'm saying. There's a lot more league to be played before we can really do these speculations. Because I don't consider what Cheap Esports tweeted as a rumor. It's just speculation, or it's not even speculation. It's just like stating the obvious. So that's what I will say about that specific report of like Inspired. We've been talking about Inspired leaving since like Split 1. We're like, oh my god, his thing is up this year. Like, what if he leaves?
Yeah, and like the thing is, like you or I could have put out that tweet. That says like it's a good chance Inspired isn't on FlyQuest next year. Well, like I could predict that, because like all you have to do is like read the room and like what's it looking like at the moment. Like on Inspired himself, we actually had. Should we get onto the NA at Worlds like portion of our
Sure.
thing? Cool. So on Worlds, how do you think North America is going to do?
I think North America is going to do okay. I think FlyQuest is going to do well. I have no faith in 100 Thieves, but I think FlyQuest is going to do well. I wouldn't be surprised if they make it to semis. My expectation is they're going to make it to quarters. If they don't, that's absolutely a failure.
I agree. For me, I always look at it and I look at it by draw, not by like a hard right. You have to make quarterfinals, because you can get unlucky with who you draw. you could draw T1 in your first round matchup, and then face like a really good LPL or LCK team, and then you're staring down the barrel of O2, and then that's where like nerves can play a factor into it because you're down O2, you ain't got a second life anymore. Like lose one more series, you're out. So you have to win 3 back-to-back best of 3s, which is very, very, very difficult to do at the World Championship. Like you have to go 1-1, otherwise it's really, really it's really, really problematic. So like how I'm looking at it is like who can you beat, and that's how I like kind of look at teams. It's like what's my expectation for an NA first seed? It's you should be beating like the 4th and like the lowest tier of the LPL and LCK. I think unfortunately that is T1 in this instant, which when it comes to Worlds, anything can happen with that roster, like honestly. So like
I mean, KT basically is the worst LCK team, right? Even though the standings are wrong, I think KT is the worst.
Right, and LCK Sports has like a historic like world's record in terms of choking. So you don't know what you're gonna get with that roster. So like, my expectation is you need to be beating those teams, and you need to be beating Europe. I'm sorry, like this isn't the G2 that was winning MSI. This wasn't the G2 that was making World Finals, made World Semi-Finals the next year. This is a completely different team, and while I think they've like much improved in some split, like don't get me wrong, like they have like from where we were talking about them in EWC to where they are now is astounding. I think they have leveled up, but I'm still of the expectation you need to be beating Europe, and crushing these like second and third like seeds. Like I don't think Fnatic and Koi should be remotely close to taking down FlyQuest. And then like it's hard to judge like the LCP because I do think CFO is a very, very good team, and yes, while we may look at them overall or holistically as like a worse region than NA, I think CFO are a very, very, very strong like team, and they should be respected.
I mean, I agree with you there. I think CFOs are probably stronger than G2 in my opinion.
Like the LCP and they just put them they just put them in this like entire bubble that okay, they're lower than NA, but historically they've always had one team that will like the Korean Killers, right? Like from
that was a while ago. Flash Wolves were that was a while ago.
But then PSG have still had them.
They did beat us last year in MSI. Like sure, PSG did take BLG to 5 and beat FlyQuest.
PSG have still had their moments. Like, and as NA, how often do we get our moments these days? So
yeah, I mean, we almost had our moment twice, right? MSI this year, Worlds last year, MSI last year as well, so 3 times. Yeah.
Yep. Sorry,
I have high expectations. Like I said, I would not be surprised if we made it to semifinals. Like, I can see a world where we end up having to face AL, and AL are not looking as solid as they used to be, and in quarters and just beat AL, right? Do you actually just want to do our pick'ems right now, since we're talking about it?
I think let's do 100 Thieves, because like I do feel we need to talk about them, unfortunately, even though I think they're going to struggle at this tournament.
Yeah, so here's the thing. 100 Thieves are just flying out, or maybe they just got to China right now. I think like they were just waiting for their visas. FlyQuest immediately left to Korea and boot camped to the FearX facility, and then they went to China, which I think is probably a better option because then you actually get to scrim, you actually get to play solo queue, and you get to like adjust your body to the time zone. So I like what FlyQuest did in terms of getting their players prepared, because you don't have all that much time. Because in general, when Worlds starts, there's a lot of media that happens before Worlds. So if the play-ins, the first game is on the 14th of October, you can assume like 3 to 4 days beforehand, so maybe the 10th or 11th, is when teams are doing content, they're doing photo shoots, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're doing interviews. So they're doing a lot of stuff. I almost forgot how things are going to Worlds. Damn. Yeah, so they're doing a lot of things. So really, from when they finished, which was like September 28th, to the 10th, that's like 2 weeks, a little under 2 weeks, because you have to account for flying and like you're not going to be scrimming on day one. So you have like 10 days, maybe, of prep, which is historically low, right? Maybe if you had to play through the gauntlet back in 2016 or something, you'd have a lot less time. I think C9 one time they had to fly to China and immediately play like the next day or something like that. But in general, normally you have a little bit more time. So FlyQuest not having that much time, 100 Thieves are going to have 2 days. Like realistically speaking, they're going to get 2 days of scrims and then Worlds going to start. And then obviously they're going to scrim doing Worlds. But like they're not going to level up. They're not even going to get to the point where in North America, when we send teams, normally we get crushed the first 2 weeks or the first week and a half, and then slowly we start, okay, these are the fixes we need to do in order to match the Eastern team. They're not even going to get to that point. They're going to play 2 days of scrims, go 0-18, or what is it, 6 games? 0-12, and they're going to be like, everything we done is wrong. What do we do? And then they're going to end up having to play like Genji or something. Maybe not Genji, like whatever. You end up having to play a top Eastern team. You're like, we're not prepared for this. What is going on? So I don't know what cope angle. I know David had a video and he said, thank goodness this is coming out while 100 Thieves players are on the flights because I don't want them to see. So it feels like even David doesn't have any hopium. So I'm just struggling to find any angle besides Quid all of a sudden doesn't choke on the big stage, Quid and River. Because remember, Quid and River, like, Quid had a 0-10 Vex game last year at Worlds, and that was Plains in the LEC studio. He's going to Beijing. He's going to like a big studio. This is, yeah. I don't know, man. I'm worried for him.
Specifically talking about like if they can click, like I'd throw their name in the hat against like Koi or Fnatic. Like sure, even VKS. I know they like pretty handily lost to them in LTA lower bracket finals, but like I think if Quid and River are on it, yeah, like I think they can match up to the lower tier LEC teams and like VKS. The problem is where you get to play that like series, like maybe not, but
historically you will, yes, but like
they should if they're in like the O2.
Let's say they have to play TSW or they have to play like CFO, right? Because at some point you're going to have to play one of these teams. You're not only going to play Eastern teams, right? I think it's impossible mathematically, right? Maybe there's like one scenario, one out of like literally 1 out of 10 million, but chances are they're going to play a Western team.
Right. The problem is like if they're playing CFO, I'm sorry, Junior is absolutely running amok on them. Yeah, like out of the two that have historically like choked for 100 Thieves between like Quid and River, who do you think's more likely to have like a bounce back tournament?
River.
Yeah.
I think River, like even at Worlds last year, he wasn't like the biggest problem. He did have like some bad games, but he bounced back after the Lion, or back then what they called R7. After the R7 loss, he bounced back and they beat Evie and what was Evie's LGL team? The Japanese team, I forget.
Was it
No, it wasn't DF. Was it DFM? I don't remember. They beat the Japanese team 2-0. And then like he even in an interview, I asked him, was like, do you have any words for Junjia? For Maple, sorry. And he was like, sorry, I'm gonna have to send you home. And then Maple was just like, bam, bam. Sit down, my child. But it was fun little banter.
Yeah. And it'd be a sad way for them to like go after I hope they win a map or two. Like genuinely, because I really would not want to with the LCS coming into fruition next year. You really want this core roster to actually have like a strong Worlds performance or a respectable one, because if you're a Sentinels and you're seeing this roster perform at Worlds, that's an easy pickup for them. Like the salary demands will not be high, even if they perform well. So I think it'd be like a very quick pickup for them. Maybe they change like a couple of pieces. Obviously, like, with River going out, you'd have to find a jungler. I don't know who that would be. Is Mon quiet? I can turn myself up.
Oh, you sound fine to me, but that might be different on stream.
Well, I'll try it out now and then see if. Okay, sorry for that. But yeah, like Fadoka, like he has to just keep Yesterday, like showing why they picked him up, because like at the end of the day, it started as a miracle run, but now it's now you have to really step up. And I like his tweet where he's showcasing like the difference in games between like the top laners in the world. Well, Douglas had considerably less than that, so he has like, and the
Yeah,
problem is,
almost 100 less.
I think David made this good point as well. Like the time between when you arrive from your domestic playoffs to actually preparing for Worlds is considerably less. I remember when I used to watch like the classic C9 sneaky streams, that felt like it was going on for like a month. Like you had
It was 3 weeks. It used to be 3 weeks.
you
Yeah,
had like a lot of time to um
it was 3 weeks to play-ins.
yeah.
Like now, there's only one match for play-ins, so even that's like another week that's less
And that's the thing, like
lost. Yeah.
we were in the play-ins and it still felt like okay, we're this I've been watching this for like a month. When's World start? Yeah.
Um,
Quickly going back to FlyQuest, how do you think they're handling all the drama that's going on between their top laner?
ooh, so if you guys didn't see the World Championship song, or theme song was supposed to have Bwipo in it. And a lot of people are like, why was it Bwipo and not Inspired? But we'll get to that. They removed Bwipo. And so instead of it coming out on the 10th, I think it was supposed to be, right? That's when it was announced. It's going to come out on the 13th. Because I guess for the past few weeks, they were like redesigning it so that the Bwipo isn't in there. I don't know if it was like live footage or if they had like a model of him, but basically we're not going to have any North American representation. Because there's not enough time in like what 3 weeks to completely remove a player. By the time that decision happens, yeah, it was not enough time. So they're getting rid of him from the video, and I don't know that affects FlyQuest that much. But if I'm Bwipo, I am completely and entirely shattered. Like this is what Bwipo plays for. Bwipo has this thing where he does not watch a World's Finals opening ceremony if he's not playing in it. Because he's like, only the victor, only those who make it have the right to do it. Like, he was supposed to be. This is an absolute honor. So few players get to experience something like that. Oh, sure.
What's going on? Why is the
Yeah, the stream ended on Discord, and I think that's why the cameras are all messed up.
But there's no option for
I'll share my screen. That should do the same thing, but while you figure it out.
Okay, it seems to have fixed it. For now.
All right. But yeah, I was saying like Bwipo, this is everything he plays for. And you finally make it. You finally make it into something like this, which is an incredible, like it's incredibly huge honor. And your comments, this is like a bigger, how do I say this? This is so much worse than being fined and not playing LTA upper bracket finals. Like this is so much worse. And honestly, like I know a lot of people are happy for it. I think what Riot did was the right decision, but this is just so harsh. Like your entire career was a build up to this moment. He has not been in a video before. Your entire career is building up to this moment, and it was taken away because you made one dumb mistake, right? You made like bad comments. That's just crushing to a player, right? I don't know how did you take it, but I feel very very bad for Bwipo, even though I think like, yeah, you did this to yourself. You did this to yourself.
I think one of the things I very very quickly wanted to address is for people saying, well, why didn't they just change it and then put like Inspired or Busio in it? Like people need to realize how much preparation goes into these videos. It takes months, like an entire year span to create this video. They are not going to be able to animate like and basically redo like a good portion of your video just to incorporate a new player. like these player models, like the actual acting that goes on for these videos, that's not happening in a week. Like, sure, you be able to cut out, like, they will have like other versions of this where like things are cut out, but they're not going to be able to do a brand new like music video in a week. So I think people need to temper their expectations there. Where you can question is, why was it Bwipo in the first place? The only thing I'll push back on that and say is, like, you're not, as right, you're not expecting him to do this, like, at all. So, like, you shouldn't go into this with the anticipation, is Bwipo gonna absolutely crash out and just paste in Masu from last year? I love it. But yeah, I think it's the right decision. Personally, I think it shouldn't have. It took a while for them to even acknowledge what happened, like, which is a problem. But at least it's not being swept under the rug, because I was fearful of that. Like, FlyQuest did their, like, quote unquote punishment, and like it was the 1 series suspension, right? Which didn't matter at all.
And the fine, the fine is pretty big.
Yeah, like, people
Like,
have
imagine
10%
10% of your salary just gets cut because of a comment you make. Like, that's not insignificant. And
Sure.
you're living in LA? Like, yeah, come on, yeah.
Sure. But like, I still think this is a good punishment, personally. I think, like, I've seen tweets, like I said, I've seen tweets about, like, why say anything, or why like not replace. I think you're in a very tough situation.
Yeah, I think just to address the comment in chat by Kerman, I think Riot is probably satisfied with FlyQuest's punishment to Bwipo, which is why they didn't do anything.
Yes.
If they didn't have Bwipo in the video and it was Inspired or it was Quad or Masu or Busio, they wouldn't have done anything extra. It's just the fact that they don't want, like, you're going to sponsors, and sponsors have probably seen that video and probably seen the response, and you're telling MasterCard, hey, our flagship video that's supposed to kick off our world championship has a person who was just in drama. Like, the MasterCard doesn't want to see that. Like, BMW or Benz, I don't know which sponsors they're going to have, but they don't want to see that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, I understand. I think it's the right choice. But from a purely, like, competitive standpoint, like, he has earned to be in that video, and he has also earned to lose that right. And that I think, honestly, like, that is so much more. I think that's worse than not playing at Worlds. Like, if FlyQuest were like, we're not going to play at Worlds, I think that probably hurts even more, because you can always make it to another world. How often are you going to be in a music video that's going to immortalize yourself in by Riot Games Global? That's like another level.
Yeah, I think there's not much more, like, I can really add on that, to be honest with you. I think it's justified. I think, like, it's such a important piece of content for Riot. Not only just, like, for their fans, but, like, financially. Like, you're doing this for, like, the sponsors and the sponsorship money, and, like, they're obviously, we're not gonna have someone that made, like, such, like, ridiculous comments be in their flagship music video, right? Especially when you're, like, in collaboration with, like, worldwide artists who they have their own brand to protect, and, like, they have to do due diligence on, like, the type of people that are in these things. It's interesting. Like, I know people are bringing up, like, Shanks, which is completely fair. I don't know if he's in the music video.
There's no way he's in the music video. There's like a 0% chance, man. Come on, you have Knight and Ben there, and you're gonna put in Shanks.
That'd be like an unfortunate for Riot, like, a hit take, like, having those two players in there after what they've done this year.
Yeah, even if Shanks, like, let's say hypothetically Shanks was in there after MSI, they would have already, like, scrapped him, because that if you do remember back in 2019. TSM made it to the finals of Spring and almost won, and they got reverse swept. And Riot Global was like, okay, well, clearly Bjergsen's going to make it to Worlds, so we're going to have him in the video. And then Bjergsen doesn't make it to the Worlds because C9 happened. No, that was the Clutch year. The Clutch happened. And I think they even got reverse swept, didn't they, in the finals?
2020,
I'm pretty sure they got reverse swept.
2020, we featured significantly in the Worlds music video.
Not making it.
Yeah, because like we were such the dominant force. Like, there's no way we're not making it right, and then we ended up not making it, and then it just looks unfortunate.
Go ahead. In 2019, it's probably because of what happened in 2019. Because in 2019, they removed NA without saying anything, and then people were like, "Why is NA not in the video?" And it's like, "Well, that's because we had Bjergsen. He never made it." Like, obviously, this was said like not publicly, but I guess in 2020 they were like, "Okay, we're not doing this now. We're just gonna have Cloud9." But yeah, I can imagine if it was Shanks, they would have just removed him without saying anything. But because Whippo thing happened right before Worlds, they didn't have much of a choice. I think there's a difference between. Yeah, I would agree with that. But do you want to do the pick'ems now, or do you have anything to add?
No, we can do pick'ems. Well, I need to see if it works.
Oh,
first.
Can you do pick'ems? All right, go ahead and try.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, I see it. Let's see if it.
Hey, it works. There we go.
All right, so like we announced in the beginning, we have a pick'ems for the LCS report. If you want to join, there's a QR code. We'll leave the link in the description. I'll even put the link right here for you guys.
Just
in
for
chat.
Very quick warning for people: the QR code will be available from our next episode, which will actually be the T1 versus IG live view. I've created like a QR code that everyone will be able to scan if they see it in the advertisement board, which it'll flicker through like quite a few things as we go about Worlds each day. But yeah, it'll lead you directly to the pick and page. You can join. As Cloud said, we do have some prizes up for grabs.
Yeah, so I accidentally pinned the wrong question, but the wrong comment. But yes, it is pinned. So if you want to join, you can just click the link or the QR code, and we'll do pick'ems. We're actually going to do our pick'ems live right now, which should be fun. And for prizes, first place, we're trying to do things that like involve the community. So for first place, we will invite you to be on an episode of the LCS report. If you can't make it, we can do like a pre-recorded segment. Like we can figure that out. But we do want the first place winner to like be a part of this. For second place, we were thinking some Aeron games with the both of us. And then for third place, we're planning on making some custom Discord titles. So those are the prizes of right now. If you guys have any ideas, let us know. We don't mind changing too much, but that is the prizes for now. So yeah, let's get right into the pick'ems. Marn's gonna do his pick'ems live. I will be doing it on my computer, but yeah, let's get right into it. What do you have for us, Marn?
So
who's making out 3-0?
I'm down for these. So while I'm going to be doing them, I'm down for these to have like discussion around them. So like who you think's going to be like the 3-0 team. Because I'm doing mine, I'll go second each time, or I can go first. Doesn't matter. Like we can alternate. But I'll let you decide like who you want for your 3-0 team.
I mean, I'm doing mine on the side as well because we are competing. So I'm going to go with Genji, my 3-0 team. I think they made it 3-0 every single time so far, like 23, 24, and 25. So, I'm expecting 25 as well. So I'm going with Genji for my first 3-0.
Do I tank it
What about yourself?
already? Do I tank it already?
Dude, you're trolling if you tank it already. You're actually trolling.
So I'll show you who I want to do.
I mean, there's 3 slots, so you can put as many 3-0s as you want. Or okay, you want BLG? Honestly, I probably put BLG as well. I
can see like you have no analytical thought process behind what you can just see. You could see the 3-0 in your eyes. So I'm gonna go BLG.
Yeah, I feel it. Yeah.
So that's the undefeated team.
Well, there should be three Oh wait, is it not three undefeated teams? Is it just one? What?
Uh,
Wait, scroll down. Yeah, there you go. You got more undefeated teams.
no. Oh,
You have three undefeated, three, 3-1, and then 2, 3-2.
okay. So if I could just like, because I have to do it in like a smaller thing, so maybe
Yeah. Okay, so it's I see. Okay.
So who are they? How's? Let me quickly. So like, if I just say VKS, where does that go? That goes in the
Okay, so it's in order. Yeah.
so the left hand side's the undefeated. Okay. Right. I think an easy one, Genji. I think pretty self-explanatory. Like you said, they've absolutely shit stomped the Swiss stage at each turn. I think they're gonna do. I think they're gonna do pretty good.
Yeah, and then
You say there's 3 undefeated teams?
oh wait! I completely misunderstood how it works. Oh my god, chat, thank you. You only pick one of them, so you pick like your golden pick, I guess, for who's 3-1, who's 3-0, who's 3-2, and then the rest are all like you're not picking the score, so you're only picking the score for three teams. Okay, thank you so much. I did not understand that. I am not the brightest star in the sky.
Okay, 3-1. Oh. On my life.
Hanwha Life. All right, I'm going T1. I think it's a solid choice. They made it 3-1 2 years in a row, so I'm just going with historical consistency. I'm going Genji T1.
Close call.
Yeah, who's going 3-2?
Has to be FlyQuest.
FlyQuest?
Because if they're getting out, it's going to be in that final. Because there's only one non-Eastern slot available. Well, you can have CFO, but like if I think whoever gets out is doing in the last like the 2-2 slot. You are not even going to be there.
Riot we're gonna live view it, so if you want to watch
Riot
T1 downfall,
hopes that Riot hopes that T1 are there.
I know. I hope T1's gonna make it. I mean, I want Rookie to make it, to be honest, but I do want to get a Faker interview, so I'm hoping that T1 makes it.
Okay.
For my 3-2, I'm actually going CFO because I think FlyQuest are making it out 3-1. So I'm gonna go CFO. I think there's gonna be one Asian team, one LCK/LPL team that's not gonna make it, and we'll get to who I think it is.
Okay.
All right, so you have Genji. I also have Genji making it. That obviously makes sense. You have T1. I have T1 as well. I'm gonna put Hanwha Life and AL as well. I don't know if you agree with those.
Yep, I've also got Anyone's Legend.
Oh, you already have Hanwha Life. You have CFO and FlyQuest? Okay, so which Asian team? Are you picking TES or are you picking KT? Because you can't have both.
Yeah, I know. Because both teams were in our no hope slot for our power rankings last week. Which, by the way, thank you to everyone that did watch that. That is our most watched video of all time. Currently sitting at like it's currently sitting at like 1.8 thousand.
Oh wow.
Okay. Do you know what I'm gonna do?
Who are you gonna put? There's no way you go G2. There's no way you go G2. I can see you thinking about it.
Boom.
What are you doing?
I've started a poll.
Oh, you started a poll?
Give it
KT versus T1 or TS?
Yep. I'm gonna give it to the audience.
Okay, well, I am not gonna get excited for KT roasters, so I'm going with Top Esports. Let's see what you end up with though in the poll. KT, okay. Oh wow, KT's winning. TES generational chokers. Hey, they make it out of Swiss stage. They just choke in quarters. So
75
historically speaking,
75% for KT. Well, the faithful shall be rewarded by the looks of it.
the faithful shall be rewarded. BDD is too clutch. I mean, that is kind of true. BDD is kind of clutch. I'm still giving it to top esports. KT have failed to make it like. Oh wait, it was Dom one. Okay, but there's a Korean seed has failed to make Swiss. I'm just going based on historical context. Things average out, so I'm saying KT's out. I'm putting in personally. I'm putting in.
I'd love to see a loss.
Top esports.
I would love to see a 2-2 decider between KT and TES.
Ooh,
That'd be hype.
that would be.
Okay, it looks like the faithful shall be rewarded. So
they got excited. They did the thing. You guys should know better, guys. You guys should know better.
okay, that is our.
Is that it, or do we have knockouts open later? Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. So this is my playing. This is my pick'ems. I got BLG, 3-0 for the 3-1 Humble Life because I think they're gonna lose to one of BLG and Genji. And then I have FlyQuest in at that 3-2 slot because I think it's going to come down to it. I think it's going to be coming down to. I'd love for them to beat an Eastern team, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as they get
G2.
out.
Fly G2 to make it out and G2 lose. Oh my god.
Again.
Dude, imagine G2 do it again. They go 2-0 and then they go 0-3. Oh.
That'd be painful. And then I actually have CFO because I do think after doing a little bit of research, they're a very good team. And then in the slobber knocker between TES and KT, I've got KT finally showing up on the international stage.
Yeah, I have the same exact pick'ems except which teams I have the same teams that come out, but I do have a different what's it called? I have top esports instead of KT. So yeah, thanks guys for playing along.
Yeah, thank you.
Like we said, our pick'ems are live, so you can join the group, and hope to see many other players joining. And yeah, we have prizes. So that's it for that. We can talk about North America a little bit more. This is the LCS report. I want to talk about some very interesting development that happened in NACL. So if you aren't watching, obviously you're watching this, but then afterwards you're going to go and watch a promotion tournament because there's another League of Legends team that is going to join the North American Championship Series. We don't know exactly who it's going to be, but they're playing for their lives right now. Disguise is playing to not get relegated, and LG or Luminosity are playing to get relegated to promote. Those are like the two top teams in my opinion. If you haven't watched, game one was like a really, really tense game. I think it was like 45 minutes. Some really good play by both teams. So I would recommend watching that. I didn't watch game two yet. I think game two is probably over by now. They're probably in game three. But a couple days ago, North American servers and other regions were hit by DDoS attacks. And it was unfortunate timing that the promotion tournament, which is being played online until the finals, that's going to be played in Mexico. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off, but breaking news from Sheep Esports that APA is parting ways with Team Liquid.
Oh snap!
And it's saying he is exploring his options in LCS, LEC, and CBLOL. I mean, that's kind of obvious. Like that's the only place that a Western player can go. So.
I mean, doesn't that just mean that Quid is joining Team Liquid?
I wonder who.
Because like they're not like gonna let him go if they don't have a replacement, right?
Yeah. Man,
I'm not saying it's a confirmation, but it's looking more and more likely. Yeah, APA is gone. So then where does APA end up? Does a team like Disguise pick him up? Does it? I mean, I don't know. Darkwings is pretty good. It's kind of hard to find a spot. Maybe you take Palafox's spot. Who knows?
Can you edit the title instead of
I
like
can.
instead of just saying like Summit suspended, just do APA leaves TL.
I'm gonna do APA kick.
APA kicked question mark. Maybe.
Yeah,
But do it in all caps
Yep.
so it keeps with the thing.
I did. I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that's actually crazy news. So an LCS report first breaking, but then, yeah. Well, we're not the ones breaking it. Honestly, I
No,
could
no,
see
not
SE or
us.
Europe. I can see Europe. I don't know about SE. I'm assuming you mean SEA, right? Oh, Shopify. Okay, okay. I thought you meant Southeast Asia. I was like, I don't know about the LCP, man.
Um,
Yeah, I
this,
could see Shopify Europe
sorry,
as
this is
well.
our like first like on air breaking news, so it's kind of like we were meant to be talking about the NACL and DDoS attacks. We're now shifting it a little bit to Team Liquid, and I mean, if you don't pick, if Team Liquid don't pick up Quid now, like it's like all the stars are written.
Yeah, or I mean, they could try for like maybe they get Saint. Like Saint is a pretty good alternative to Quid.
Sure.
He also doesn't. We don't know that he has the chokingness of Quid, right? That is, I think Quid has higher highs, but he also has a lower lows, in my opinion. So I don't think he's the only option. But that does open spots for APA, like Dignitas, for example. Are they really going to go back to Keeney? I doubt it, right? So maybe he could join a Dig. I'm just not too excited for APA. Like he's not going to be on a championship winning team, right? I'm really worried about. But yeah, we're gonna have a lot of Korean mids. I mean, this year was really difficult for our North American talent. Like APA did not show up very much. I think maybe in Split 3 he was playing a little bit better. But then like Palafox had like Split 2 was okay and the Split 3 was a stinker. I mean, Insanity is trying to make it with LG, right? They were up a lot in game one. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but he is trying. And should I say this? Like I'm pretty sure when Disguise were trying to make mid and AD changes, they definitely looked at Insanity and Tactical on LG and they're like, hey guys, can we play? And I'm pretty sure like Insanity and Tactical are like, we'd rather just beat you guys in promotion relegation. So there's a lot on the line between these two teams. We're going to see two best of five. Today is the first best of five. Then whoever loses goes to the lower bracket. I'm pretty sure they're going to win. And then we're going to see another best of five in Mexico with no stage, with no stadium. I don't expect Estral to do anything because of what happened. Summit straight up started VOD reviewing. Like straight up started watching the VOD, the YouTube stream of his game during the like 3 hour pause or something. Now, I will say, and then everybody has come out and like Estral has come out and said it wasn't malicious. Like Korean pros, that's what they do. They're waiting for game. They just watch their games. Apparently, he was watching one of the team fights. He smurfed. He was literally just like he. It seemed like there was no malicious intent. It's over. Oh my god, LG lost. No, my poor fake god. He was playing so well. But yeah, it didn't seem like it was something malicious, but he was banned from the promotion tournament. Rightfully so. You can't just open up the stream and see, like, with observer vision, a game that's paused and then, like, make a plan based on where their wards are, how much gold they have spent, or, like, things like that, that you shouldn't have information of. Fans weren't too happy about it, but I think it's, like, the right decision. A person cheated. He got banned for it. Like, what? I'm very confused as to why you would be like, but because of this or that, like, he's a player. He's been to Worlds. This guy has played in 4 or 5 different regions. He knows the rules. Like maybe he like blanked and he made a dumb mistake. And guess what? Make dumb mistakes, get dumb punishments. Like, well, what can I say?
I don't get the argument where like, oh, there's been no malicious intent. Like he's played for some of the biggest organizations in esports. He's been in the biggest leagues, wherever he's gone. Like you can't deny, like, even though he's an absolute dumbass and like his career falling has been justified, like for how he is, he has played for some of the biggest organizations in this league, like in this industry. Sorry, like he knows the rules. He is a veteran. He knows that you can't be doing that. Like he's just an idiot because, like, not like Estral's trying to say, like, it's severe. I can't, man, because like you're literally getting an advantage. You, like you even said, you can get flash timers where wards are. Wards is one of the more important things, like where they have vision. Like, so you can see how they're going to be setting up for these objectives. So like you have all that time. And by the way, like Ghost should be like innocent in all this. He was on Discord. That's strictly forbidden. And like I praise the casters for calling this out because they should be calling that out. Like they'd be doing a disservice to themselves and their careers if they didn't call that out because that's their duty as a broadcaster to be like objective. And if a player is cheating, you call that shit out. So like props to Cubby and the casters for calling that out.
Yeah, no, props to everybody involved. I know Riot was a little bit late on like announcing something, but they wanted to like figure out what they
You have to
wanted
be
to do.
thorough though, don't you? Like you can't just immediately jump to conclusion. I'm not blaming Riot too hard on that one where like it took them a couple hours to actually like come to a decision. That decision was suspended. I think it's justified.
Yeah, I think maybe you say like, "Hey, we are currently investigating it," and then you come out and say what happened. Like that could be better PR. But I mean, they also have software that's installed on the players' computers to see every single movement, every single click, every single everything that the players do. So it's not even like, "Oh, but it wasn't that clear on street." Like, no, they have access to replay files of everything you did.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think bad mistake. And you got punished for it. Like, same thing with Bippo. Like he messed up and he got removed from Worlds like video. Like can't blame anyone but yourself.
It brings up another conversation, and I put out a tweet about this because it frustrated me that the biggest tournament for some of these players are happening online because we're pushing. I know you are only recently on that bandwagon, after going to finals and then saying, yeah, okay, online's what we should be doing.
Yeah.
But like I know people like me and David have like been championing this type of format for ages, and to not have an in-person referee for one is ridiculous. Two, surely there is a way to monitor like what they're doing online. Surely the teams can ensure that no one's breaking. Like if it was me, like, I would be ensuring that these players only have access to certain websites. Like, and it's also on Riot for not having the in-person referees. If you're going to be online, there has to be in-person referees like at where these teams are. Like
I don't think you can do that. There are teams that are playing, like for example, let's say LG, right? You have all of this guys is playing at the Shopify facility, but so are Tactical and what's his name and Fake God. But then you have Insanity playing from home. You have Zazel playing from his house. Like, how are you gonna have what 5 refs for each team?
You can facilitate like either one. Their screens have to be recorded. I'm sure that it's possible to do that.
It is.
So okay, so like, I just think if you're gonna do online, there has to be like you can't be having players scattered for one. And like I made this point on Twitter, why are we online for this tournament? Like in 2017, they were in the closet. Like if you remember that shitty studio where like the actual walkway was so short that players were tripping over themselves, in that secondary studio. Like why are we going backwards and not budgeting for this being in a studio? Like this should like. Even if they're playing in the closet, I don't care if they're playing because like we've only had one tweet about the actual financials for the closet, so we don't actually know what the actual cost matters are for the side studio. Please, for next year, can we have this event fully on LAN? Because like when we're trying to push for these online games, this is the type of crap that Riot's gonna go. Well, if like. See, like we have stuff online. It's not working. We're not going to do it. We're just going to stick to what we go because we need more games next year.
I think we will get more games next year, even if we don't go online. I think we will get just because we don't have to travel as much, and that just gives more bandwidth and more money to actually have more games. But to your comments about like why is this online? It's only this game. All the other games, it's only like the previous like 3 or 4 series, right? all the other series are going to happen in Mexico, right? In Mexico City. They're going to be in a LAN with no audience, but it's going to be in a LAN. I actually don't think it's a Riot fault. I think it's a LLA fault. Like, I think whoever's running it did an incompetent job at budgeting and figuring out how to get all the players to play. There are no fans, mind you. Like, why are there no fans? Well, it's because LLA like has historically been rumored to just do a really, really bad job at like budgeting and figuring out how to use the money. So there's not going to be any fans. Half of the tournament is going to be online. Like, I think those things are more of a, hey, Riot said, here's some money, make it happen. And they butchered their budget and they're like, we can only make it happen for the finals. And like, that's what I think. Now, this is complete speculation. This is not like me knowing the behind the scenes or anything like that. Obviously, I've talked to some reporters from LLA because I was like very curious as to what was going on. But it seems like Riot is not happy with this either. Riot wanted something to happen, and the product that is being pushed out, maybe Riot was like, yeah, half of it can be online. Like, maybe they didn't really care. But at the end of the day, I think they expected a higher quality, a higher bar, especially like no fans. That's kind of crazy to do. And I would hope that this would be a lesson of like, we can't do it in Mexico City. Like, we just can't. If they're going to treat us this way, we can't have our biggest, like, our entrance to a new team like Luminosity or Disguise. Like, we just can't have it. What if we have like Optic, for example, Optic with their huge fan base, and all of a sudden they're in the finals. They pick up a really good roster, and they get nothing. Their opponent teams are cheating. They're playing online. Like, they have like, obviously the pause wasn't Riot's fault. Someone was like being malicious, but like, what exactly do you do? I think this is going to lose a lot of faith in what's happening in New Mexico and in like their leadership, and it might actually be a good thing, and it might push for next year's promotion relegation to be in LA. Now, that is expensive to fly out the other teams, like the LLA teams or LRN or whatever, but I think that's just the only solution. So I will echo you there. Like, the whole thing has to be in person because these are the biggest games of some of these players' careers. Maybe not Ghost, who played in Worlds Finals and won, but you know.
Yeah. There's nothing more like really I can add on that. It's just this thing frustrates me more because I want there to be more games, and online has to be a positive change, and it's shit like this that really puts a negative like damper on things. And like, you really don't want this going into like 2026. That you want there to be a positive outlook for online.
I'm not sure what risks, because I think this was decided before, like a while ago. They could have had it in Canada. Maybe the visas are easier to get into Mexico. There could be something like that. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I really don't know. Maybe that is why they didn't go to LA. Maybe it was just like hard to get the visas and stuff. So it could be. But you want to hop into Q&A?
Yeah, sure. I had quite a few this week.
All right. All right. So we kind of already talked about. Well, I guess we can start with, is Summit's punishment too severe? We kind of talked about that. I thought it was pretty accurate. I think you agreed with me as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he made a mistake and he was punished for it, and like, I think you get banned. Oh, I guess, is it only a series ban? Do you get banned for the series, or do you get banned for the whole tournament? That could be like a discussion to be had.
It didn't say a series ban, so I think it's just at the moment indefinitely suspended until like they actually conclude their investigation.
Yeah, I think it kind of depends on how malicious it was. If he was like going and looking and like taking notes on like where the wards are or things like that, then maybe you're like, okay, you ban him for the entire thing. If not, maybe you just ban him for that one series. I mean, honestly, I think it's fine, because think about it this way. If I'm Riot, honestly, I would have like had forced Estral to forfeit that game because they cheated, and then made it so that Summit was banned the next series. which would just be 2 series, right? Anyways, so I actually think it's accurate now that I think about it. Where's this? Okay, so that was a Beans question. I forgot to read who's Dr. Leo Spaceman DDS, also known as Carolyn, says Shynock recently talked about his hopes for a new team entering LCS in 2026 to capture their journey into the LCS to build hype. What shouldn't a new to LCS org do to attract a following as they come in? This is where we have that little short. If you could possibly share on stream, so I can talk about this.
Okay. Okay, so that's going back to Pick'ems. So, yep, playing now.
The new ARAM Mayhem mode, and you see this augment. Biggest snowball ever. Just like the name says, you're rolling right past minions, knocking up enemies, doing the Freljord proud. What if you also pick up the Let's Get Excited augment? Now you go wild with extra movement and attack speed on every kill. Now you become a mini Jinx and Runeterra's deadliest snowman. But you're not done yet. There are more augments coming your way. Should you take Bay Magic and polymorph everyone to cute little guys whenever you ult, or Tank Engine so you keep getting bigger with every tick down? Why not both? And then there's also the Upgrade Zanya's augment, so you can go golden even while you're moving, and the Cruelty augment, which drops a common on your enemies. Now you're unstoppable, untouchable, meteoric juggernaut that's running and morphing, mayheming all over the map. What if next match you start with the Laser Heal augment instead, so you can heal allies or you're zapping enemies, and Night Stalking so you turn invisible after every kill, oh, maybe Glass Cannon so you're dealing tree damage on...
Quit talking and start playing. ARAM Mayhem available now.
Okay, so why am I like showing this? Why are we showing this to you guys? Because it's marketing. They announced ARAM Mayhem, but they didn't just announce it. You know what they did? They made content about it. They showed it off. Like, Riot understands that for their product, for people to like pay attention to their product, they need to talk about their product. Teams need to understand that. If you're going to the World Championship, you probably should be posting every single day. Something with your players, showing off your players, like making videos, doing cool stuff. Like, this was a really cool video. I didn't even know ARAM Mayhem was out until I watched this video on my TikTok. But like, this is the type of stuff we need Sentinels to do. We need them to be active in shorts so that when I'm scrolling on my phone and I'm not thinking about League of Legends, it shows up and I'm like, oh, Sentinels, that's so cool, right? That's what I want. That's how I expect you to attract people, is by being in their faces. It's very difficult to attract people when all you do is you play once a week. So you get 0-2'd or 2-0 and then you don't do anything for the rest of the week. Like, that's really difficult. But you know how what else you could do is you could be on their timeline every single day. Like, you could do that, right?
Yep. That's
how I see it. What, do you have anything else besides like marketing that you would recommend?
For a team to do, I think they need to have a clear strategy with how they want to implement a content creator, because I think they need to have one, whoever it is. And I'm not just talking about Sentinels, but let's use Sentinels as an example. Are you going to try and you have like the option of, do you want to go for a new creator, or do you want to try and live off the hype of like Tens and Tarek? Like Tens, he loves League of Legends. Played it consistently off stream or off work times for Foul. I know Tarek has occasionally dabbled at like looking at League. I know he's like consistently watched like the World's opening ceremonies. He's gone back and watched like the World's finals trailers. So maybe, but I don't think Tarek really has the time. I don't know what Tens' like schedule is these days, but if he wants to be that consistent front for them, I think that is like a very good like foundation. Like, I'm not sure, like looking at the creator pool, who you would like bring up. I think like Miss Chim Chim could be a really
if you're
good...
trying to
yeah, like he's gonna be homeless very soon, so if you want to take our boy off the streets, then please pick him up.
He's got 2 more weeks.
Oh,
unless 100 Thieves make it out, then maybe 3. You never know.
Oh, that's being clipped for sure.
Have you heard that from Jay? Have you heard any rumors on Team Liquid's off-season plans? Yeah, apparently
I
they got rid of Impact and APA.
Yeah, I heard APA's out of Team Liquid, so there's that one.
Yeah, well, they announced that Impact's out, and the rumor is that APA is off by Sheep Esports.
Well, I don't know if they announced this, but Reignover I don't think is with the organization anymore. Actually, no, they did announce this. Sorry, because I was
They
begging
did.
C9 last.
That's
I
right.
was
I
begging
forgot about
C9
that.
last night to pick him up. Ah, it's
I
such a
mean,
good
honestly, like Rainover.
such a
Imagine
good
Rainover
addition.
goes to FlyQuest as well. Woof.
They already have enough. They already have enough good coaching stuff. They don't need more.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean,
He'd
yeah.
work wonders for
Just in
us.
general.
He'd work wonders for us.
He would. He already knows the system. He's already been there. Haha, C9 systems. He already knows like the process of Cloud9, and he could go back. So that's three people that have left Team Liquid. They are pretty much changing a lot of what made Team Liquid successful. So we'll have to see. Ooh, Core moved to coaching. Imagine if Core JJ takes Rainover's place. But then you have to like, who do you pick up? Ayla maybe? Who knows?
Where do you think APA goes?
Where do I think APA goes? Honestly, it's tough. I think Shopify is an open slot. I don't know that he makes it to Shopify, if I'm being honest. I don't know if Shopify would rather get like a Korean like Saint or Quid or whoever it is. But I wouldn't be surprised if he pops up on a Dignitas or a Shopify.
I think it goes to you guys, personally. I think that's his only slot, really. Because
I mean, there's
like,
Dig.
It is, but do you want to? Not Cloud9A.
I mean,
yeah, definitely.
if I'm APA, would I rather be on Dignitas or an NACL team? I don't know.
True. I still just think he's going to be in you guys. I don't think Palafox is in the league next year. I think Palafox may.
Oh, that's right. He could be on Sentinels. I forgot.
That's not bad. Like honestly, because I think Quid's going to TL. I think picking up the 100 Thieves roster and it's slotting APA in there. It's not a bad shout.
And then you got maybe even a Korean jungle.
I can see it now because they will play into the Captain America stick like so well as well.
Yeah. That could be fun. It could be fun content.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually do have a bunch of questions. Oh no, this is a discussion. I see. So Rambling FC talked about like the rumors about Inspired. We kind of also talked about it, but I'll reiterate it because some people do come to the end for the Q&A. It's not really a rumor. It's more like stating the obvious. Like, oh, the sky is blue and the water is wet, and Inspired teams are going to give offers to Inspired. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if Cloud9 and Team Liquid and like literally everyone's offering Inspired money because he's the best player on the Western, like in the West. So I'm not at all like surprised or like baffled, right? I think it's kind of normal that when a player's contract is ending and he's a really good player, you try to get him. Do I think he's going to leave? Do I think I don't know. I think there's I think I was saying what, a 60%, 70% possibility that he might leave.
That's very, very high.
Yeah, I'm worried because like trying to keep this, like you have to fight for Inspired plus Busio. And again, I'm going to say EU has a better offer to give. I don't know what FlyQuest can offer because EU has more money, right? Maybe FlyQuest go to their owner and like, we need the money. We need to keep this guy. And they're like, sure. But like, just think of G2. They have more money. They have a bigger arena, more fans. They have more viewership. They play more road shows. They play more games in their league. They have more influence. Like there's everything you could want, and it might even be a better team if you're playing with Caps and Broken Blade, right? Maybe you get a Kalist or a Hansama, and like that's just a better team as well. Like why? What can FlyQuest offer you to match that? I don't know. Now, again, this is complete speculation. I don't know. Maybe he loves his life in LA. He hates Germany. He wants to play. Like, who knows? But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he leaves, if that makes sense.
I think it's a coin flip with Inspired. Busio, no, because I do think he has like he does have his roots in FlyQuest. I also think like relationship does matter, and he has like a relationship in Los Angeles. I think going over to Europe would be like, it could be challenging. Like I don't know these things, but that's something to probably like factor into a decision because you would be away for a significantly long time. I think Inspired's more likely to go to KC.
I mean, if Kana stays, I don't know if Kana does want to stay, but like imagine you have Kana and then you pick up Jojo and you have Inspired and then you have Kalist and Targamas. I don't know, that's kind of a fire team.
I personally think I only think he goes to G2 if I'm being completely honest with you. I think it's between G2 and FlyQuest. I don't think like there's another North American org that can pay.
I mean, okay, Rambling does ask like if this fly squad flops at Worlds, right? They don't even make it out. They go like 1-3 or something, right? They just play really horrible. Does he even want to stay on FlyQuest?
That's the thing. It sucked for the league if we lost Inspired, I'm not gonna lie. I think losing Boosie would be harder for me personally. Because like I think Busio is going to be the face of our league. Whether we like it or not. I know Inspired is the king right now. He's the king of the West, but I do think the marketing is heavily going to be around like Busio. I think he enjoys that side of the game more. And I think he's the one that's really going to be like pushing, like what Boaster is for like Valorant. I think we're gonna like Busio is really going to be our guy in that respect.
I mean, yeah, I can see even if Inspired leaves, you try to keep Busio and you make him your like shining star. You make him your franchise player, kind of like Core JJ on Team Liquid or Blabber on C9. I can see that. It's just really difficult. Like we don't even know if they're gonna do well at Worlds. We don't like if they make it to World Finals. Maybe they're like, hey, why don't we stick this out one more time, right? And maybe if they make it to World Finals, like people's wallets start to open up even more, and then they're offered even more money. Like it's really hard to guess right now. It really is hard. Last question here by Stoens. We already talked about this, but in regards to Sentinel and knowing how they run their Val team, do you think Rob Moore is going to throw a bunch of money at a roster to get a big start in LCS? We already talked about it, but the TLDR is like, I have no idea. I don't watch them. And I think, Marn, you said you think they're going to have a good team, right? Like they're going to spend money.
I think they're going to have a good team, yeah.
All right. I think those are all the questions. Yeah, those are all the questions. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, we will have a live stream. Like we will be live before like we won't have a regular episode. We're going to be live viewing the team the T1 versus IG. And then we're probably going to talk about every day that there's a Worlds game. We're just going to be live right after the Worlds game. Probably like anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast I can get my interviews done. If I have interviews, that kind of stuff. But we will keep you posted. We'll make sure to tweet it. So follow Marn's Twitter. He does a much better job than me. I try to retweet stuff, but he's pretty accurate. Join the Discord because we will be pinging. There's an announcement channel where we basically announce whenever we're live. So if you want to make sure that you catching what we're talking about, it'll be there. Join the Pick'ems because it's cool. You win prizes. Yay! And thank you to Marn for the cool new graphics for Worlds. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, see ya.